There have been enormous changes here at East Lake. As big a changes that we've seen on the PGA Tour in quite some time. It's probably worth looking at all that's going on in terms of operations here at the Tour Championship as we get set for the end of the PGA Tour season and the FedEx Cup finale.
Good morning. The course looks amazing, and I'd forgotten that when we were here last year, we kept saying right after the Tour Championship is over, all the work is going to begin. So this entire year has been super busy out here at East Lake, but now it's wrapping up just in time for the Tour Championship. Alex Urban breathing a sigh of relief. It's finally here, the executive director. It's great to see you, man. How are you?
Great to see you. I'm not sure we're breathing a sigh of relief yet.
Not yet. Yeah, that's true. You got a little time, but still, I mean, what a big deal. The course looks amazing.
This is the finale of the PGA Tour. You get the Tour Championship. Can you kind of walk us through the restoration work?
This is the tournament that has awarded the FedEx Cup every single year. And East Lake and the folks here have made a huge commitment to overhauling the whole place to kind of the original golden era Donald Ross. It's a special place. It's the home of Bobby Jones. So I think there's just a little bit of extra juice when you kind of put all those things together alongside what it means for the tournament. It's a pretty cool project. You know, you have all these changes to the topography, to the ground, to the areas on the golf course. The 9th tee, for example, is moved 40 yards to the left, creates a piece of real estate.
Yep.
What we decided to do was let's just pretend like we'd never run a tournament here before and put things in places that make sense rather than let's just do it because we've been putting it here for 20 years. And so you have fan areas in different spots. We have a new fan area near 17, right by 9T, has a massive hospitality venue called the Georgian. Almost all of our private hospitality, except for 2 venues, are they're in different places. They're in places that I think are more commensurate with the end of the season. You want that build and crescendo to the end. And so yeah, what we want to do is for people to show up, especially the ones that have been coming for a long time, and feel wowed this year.
Is this it?
This is it. Welcome. Welcome to the busy day of media day here at the Tour Championship.
You get to take this on?
Oh yeah.
How many questions do you think you're going to answer?
I think I'm going to answer them all.
All of them? Oh.
Today is kind of the first day, especially media and Atlanta-based media have had a chance to see the golf course, so there's some obvious excitement there.
The timeline was top of mind.
I'm sharing the stage with Chad Parker, who's general manager of East Lake.
Very much looking forward to no hard hats, safety vests, red clay, and just green grass.
As well as Andrew Green, who's the planner behind the unbelievable restoration of the golf course.
There's so many great players that have some sort of connection or roots here to East Lake, and to honor them is a tremendous privilege.
I'm just going to try to hold my own up there with those other 2 guys.
The yardage of the course hasn't changed but 100 yards or so. It's not a huge change, but one hole that did receive some extra length was the 14th hole. And we will be playing that hole as a par 5 for the Tour Championship this year. So we will be playing to a par 71, and we're traditionally a par 70.
I think when the players stand on 14T, they're going to have a lot of decisions to make of how aggressive to play and potentially amazing rewards in that aggression, or maybe making a few mistakes. And there are a few of those places here that really will ramp up the conclusion.
Something that's exciting, and I think will be worthy of crowning the FedEx Cup champion.
Hardware is going to be here as well.
There's the FedEx Cup is on site. You know it's a big deal when the FedEx Cup shows up.
I know, it's like
we're starting to
security,
get-
like it's just bodyguards.
Correct. We had to
walking in.
scan you. We
Yeah, I
patted you
know.
down
I've
coming
got
in.
nothing. I've got nothing on me.
Just take a lot of effort by everyone involved, knowing that, you know, August the 28th, we're going to have players here, and that's the date we have to be finished by.
30 players has got to be a bit of a unique challenge.
One of the benefits is our day can be more truncated. So rather than having tee times at 7 in the morning, our tee times typically start between 11:30 and
Nice.
12:30. The range becomes a little bit more of a focal point.
Interesting.
Because people are here early before the first tee time, so you want to watch the guys. Because another unique thing for us is we're paired up by leaders on Thursday.
Right.
Yeah,
Every day.
Our
I mean,
leaders
it's
teeing off last on
reshuffling.
Thursday.
I think it's the only golf tournament now professionally that does that.
Yeah, so we celebrate our first tee a little bit more.
So this is the first tee here. Private hospitality on the first floor. Second floor is all open to the public, grandstands. And then this year we wrapped it down the left side a little bit more. So it's actually a pretty great viewing for 9 green
Really
as well
good,
for
yeah,
public.
There's like a corridor they can walk through. Is that kind of the
so
idea?
basically right here, it'll be fans on the right and left. And they'll walk down these stairs onto the new first tee, which is actually the practice putting green as well.
The atmosphere is important to us. The property itself lends itself to atmosphere really well because it's not a huge piece of property for a 18-hole championship golf course. It's hard to get too far away from the players at this property. You can see so many guys up close. You can hear the cheers from the other holes. If you're on the first tee, you can hear what's going on the back nine. But that interaction, that closeness is, I think, what makes our sport really special.
What can the fans expect to see?
So we have our main thing is trying to cool people down while they're here.
Okay.
So we have the So Cool Zone by 14 and 15. They're actually adding a misting station in there that's going to basically be like a tented area that's just pounding mist everywhere. We're adding a monster board on 18 green that will just like show live coverage and then as well as other stats and cool features.
We actually looked at the potential build out around numerous features and adjusted some of the sizing and shapes to allow for that build out. Something you'd never think about anywhere else, for sure.
The 9th tee box is shifted about 40 yards player left of where it used to be, creating this large swath of land over our shoulders here. And you can see a ton from an elevated position. And so we imagined this shared hospitality venue called the Georgian.
Wow. Yep. You can see a lot of golf course.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, literally right on top of 3 green here.
3 here.
Yep, in the distance you got 4T, 9T right here next to us, 5 greens right here, and then in the distance there you can see 7 green, and then literally on top of 8 green as well.
I mean, this is incredible.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's where they'll be teeing off some of the days on 8.
That's
so
awesome.
Literally right on top.
Yeah, so
1 tee.
8 will be drivable now, and as you can see, water all the way down the left side, but if you're hanging out up here, you're gonna be able to see who's teeing off on the tee, and I mean, you'll see 2s, you'll see 5s, that's great.
Yeah. You want to pop inside here? So it's basically the feel of a double-decker without building a double-decker. So down there as you walk in on the main floor, we have this massive U-shaped bar, 75, 80-inch TVs on the sides all around, and then up here is all seating, buffets, and then TVs all around here too.
So new to the Tour Championship, why do something like this?
So we did something very similar in Charlotte for the President's Cup. I mean, it was a huge hit. It was gorgeous with the columns and all the valances. We saw the success there and figured if we're doing a restoration at East Lake, why not try and bring something similar?
Makes sense.
We spend a lot of time trying to think about how to continue to raise the bar on hospitality, and we're seeing that across the PGA Tour, but I think it's across all sports. The Georgian was born from that line of thinking, high-end hospitality, a really cool big venue that has a ton of views of golf and some really great food and beverage. Something I think is going to leave a mark on people. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. Some of the changes to the course have created this additional, hopefully, crescendo effect on the back nine. We want the roars, we want the excitement. Maybe someone eagles the 18th to win the tournament. We've never had that here for the FedEx Cup. I want that excitement down the stretch where you really feel it.
We get 30 players here at the Tour Championship, obviously vying for the FedEx Cup. Where's your mind gonna go once you see that first player tee up on Thursday?
This has been one of the hardest things I've done in my career, so once the first tee shot goes off, my thought is, all right, what's not going well in hospitality that I need to take
Always
care
that
of?
work
Yeah,
frame.
last putt goes in, then I'm thinking, we did it.
I love watching people have a good time out here. That's what got me into the sport, was going to golf tournaments and having a blast. So when I can see people have a good time, and whether that's enjoying the fan infrastructure and the food and that scene, which is great and we love that, or watching getting really into the golf and getting really dialed into how it comes out on Sunday, that's what I'm excited to see, is just people having a good time and leaving and saying, man, I can't wait for that next year.